welcome everyone to the Circle Debate Podcast Top 5 Picks of the Week. And we are back here with a top 5. It's been a long time we haven't done it because we have a busy schedule here, ladies and gentlemen. But yes, this is the host of DEVIOUS 1. I've been here with my brother, the director himself, mi hermano, mi sangre, my blood. And there you go, he has the glasses on. Yes, that is right. Even though he's not Don Callis, because then he's going to be saying
Stanford Stooge.
So he's going to be saying Stanford Stooge. So there you go, you Stanford Stooges. Jesus, there you go. The director himself, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Chris Kennedy, ladies and gentlemen.
It is 1 p.m. I don't even know what this looks like anymore. This is too early for me, man. Let's do it.
It's early for the director, ladies and gentlemen. But yes, we are back finally with the top 5 picks of the week. It's been a long time. So today's top 5, we'll be picking our top 5 future stars in pro wrestling. Who will lead the future of professional wrestling? Who will be the future Mount Rushmore? And we're going to give our picks for today, who we feel who could be that top 5 future of professional wrestling. So by all means, I'm going to go ahead and allow actually, you know what? I'll save the director for last. I'll go first. I'll save you for last. Because I already know, saving you last is going to be such good shit. That's what it's going to be right there. It's going to be such good shit. That is right. But yes, let me go ahead and start off with my number 5. And you know what? I'm going to say it. My number 5 has to be, for me, will have to be Dominic Mysterio. It has to be. He's a future star for me. Yes, and I'm going to explain why Dominic Mysterio is my number 5.
He just made the list.
Exactly. He just made the list. So
I'm all ears, man. I'm all ears on this one.
Reason because his background being trained alongside with the Lucha Brothers as well, being trained at level pro by his father as well. So he knows obviously the analytics of Lucha Libre besides the American style. But this individual, he has that. He may not have the charisma as of yet completely, but he will if he turns heel. I've been saying it for quite some time. We need Dominic Mysterio to turn heel. I want him to be the prince of Lucha Libre. I want him to dethrone his father, take him at Mania, take away his mask, and retire Rey Mysterio, and have him lead the LWO with El Hijo del Fantasma, with Santos Escobar, with Humberto Carrillo, with everybody, all. Make a new faction, the LWO 2.0. That's what I want.
I remember the chick because I was in 90s WTW.
There you go.
Man, that was a good faction. People slept on that faction.
I agree. Absolutely. They did.
There's never been a son versus father match in modern pro, and I can't remember. Not even ever. I mean, maybe in like some territories back in the 70s, but
I would say the AWA days, Vern Gagne and Greg Gagne, maybe.
Each other is a feud type deal.
I don't. It's a good question that they ever did. I know they teamed up. They were father-son tag teams as well.
I mean, I've seen Brian Christopher and Jerry Lawler, rest in peace, in the back in like the Tennessee days. Like they definitely have done some things.
And they wrestled each other in Memphis as in the territories. So they have. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they did.
That, yeah, but I can't remember. There's not really. Nothing mainstream that I can think of. So I love that idea a lot. Yeah, that's a good direction for this. And the mask versus like, I'll beat you, you take off your mask, and then I start to wear it.
That could be either.
I mean, that kind of goes against all of the lucha tradition, obviously. Obviously, the mask coming off, which Ray has done, but then putting on. No one's ever put on a mask outside of like shitty Kane gimmicks and stuff like that. But like, I've earned the right to wear your mask, even though I don't have one on right now. That's kind of interesting. So I'd like to see something like that.
Absolutely,
I'd watch that.
Yes, and I would like to see that because, Dominic, he can lead the direction for the Latin community, and he could be the future one. I know a lot. They've been trying their best with all the current stars they have in WWE, but they're not pushing him. That's why they have more Mysterio booked, and you see him more out there in the main, close to like semi-main events, or a lot of major storylines compared to the others.
The Latin community, which you rightfully heard.
Yes. So, Vince, if you're hearing this,
Give me what I want!
that's all I ask. It's just give me what I want, damn it. That's all I ask for. Jesus.
Batista is never wrong.
That is right. My number 4 now. My number 4 will have to be Carmelo Hayes from NXT. Yes. Carmelo Hayes, he's been phenomenal in the independent circuit, and now he is making himself very known in NXT. He's the North American champion. So I'm very happy for him that he's getting his recognition on national television. Even though it's 2.0, we don't talk about it because we hardly have the time to watch 2.0. And no disrespect to everybody who loves 2.0, but I'm not a fan of it, unfortunately. It's just not there. It's not my cup of tea. But that's just my, that's just for me. Everybody has, their different taste. But by seeing him and his highlights of what he's been doing in NXT, it's not bad at all. I feel he's going to be a future NXT World Champion, and he could be a future star for sure. If they make the right moves for him, I feel that Carmelo Hayes could be at that top level. That's for sure. So that's my number 4. Yeah. My number 3 will be Richard Holiday from MLW. Richard Holiday is one of the most underrated heels in MLW, but is a great heel all over in the independent circuit. People have seen him live, of course, on YouTube. You've seen him everywhere all over the world. And you can also catch him on Straight Talk Wrestling because that's where he's been interviewed, having conversation with George Mackay. So make sure you subscribe. Shout out to George and the mini host. But yes, Richard Holiday's underrated. And right now I'm loving this. Right now, currently, I'm loving this turnaround from Alicia Etude going heel and joining Richard Holiday, like the new it couple.
They're taking on Hammerstone, man.
And exactly, man. I love that.
I think they both did, right? Like, she got in on the attack, yeah. Like,
yes.
That's a whole different podcast right there. But yeah, I love that for sure.
Yeah. And I feel like if Richard was given the opportunity, that platform like an AEW or a WWE platform, I think he could excel to our expectations from him because he has that charisma, that ego.
He was made for TV for sure.
He's made for TV. And I feel that Richard Holiday is going to and I'm glad he's doing it the right way, making him name himself all over the independent circuit and especially in MLW. I feel he's maybe the heart and soul for MLW, besides Hammerstone. I think he could be that heart and soul for MLW to elevate it at his peak with his heelish moves. If they put the belt on him, which I hope they do, no disrespect to Hammerstone, but I think that's going to be some fucking... It's just going to be...
Such good shit.
That's what it's going to be right there. Just such good shit. That's what it's going to be. So that's my number 3. My number 2, and I know this is your other Roman, and I'm going to say this, I know I'm going to get heated for this because I'm saying this, but because the way how they're pushing him, the way how they been exposing him, and that is, of course, Braun Breaker. Of course, he's like your Roman Reigns 2.0. Why do I say that? Because the way how they're booking him, the way how Roman got booked, how they're literally putting him right on our faces on national television, on our televisions. Like, hey, love this guy, like this guy, main event this guy, and it's just. But I gotta give full credits too, though. The guy has improved within the last 6 months, and not only that, he's already NXT champion, and so he's gonna be the future for sure for that brand of NXT 2.0, and. I would not be surprised, Director, if they call him up by the end of this year to the main roster. I would not be surprised if they call him to the main roster. I mean, I know that it's too soon, but I won't be surprised. Vince loves, I love that big shit. He loves that, so Vince will do all his power, which he has the power, obviously, to go ahead and push him to the next level in the main roster, and we could probably see him be a future world champion in the main roster, either Raw or SmackDown. But now we learned that it's going to be now combined. So, you know, we'll see how that goes. And my numero uno. Yes, I'm gonna say it, and I know it's obvious, but I don't give a shit. And that is, of course, send the hook. Damn it, send the hook. Hook is the one who has that cockiness that it reminds me a lot of his father's charisma, but obviously different style, different attitude, and I feel with Hook could be definitely the future for AEW. It's it's gonna be quite a long like years apart, but I feel like Hook could be that. Oh, what's going on, Frank? That's right. Make sure you guys subscribe to Jofo in the Ring podcast, as they provide you the best pro wrestling content out there for all of you guys, and also their reviews on Dynamite every Wednesday live on their YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. But yes, I feel that Hook is a future. I know everybody's shocked that I haven't put MJF as my number one, but we already know currently that MJF, it's already the future. He always says it. He's the past, he's the present, he's the future of professional wrestling. So I don't need to put him. He don't need to be in this list because he is already a future. So there is who's gonna get to his level? Who's how Brock Lesnar said it? Who's gonna put asses in them seats? And MJF's doing it. But these I'm talking about behind me on my screen, but in the background. Who is going to be that future? Who's going to get up to his level? So, Hook, though, on the other hand, has that potential, has the ability. If Taz manages him and has him, be his Paul Heyman, I would love that. I think Hook has a bright future, and he's going to be a future TNT World Champion. I think he could pull it off. Continue giving him those wins. Make him controversial. Make him fuck the face or heel. Have him just be himself, and he could beat up all of them. Screw it. I know he's 19. People are like, what the fuck? Why are you overselling to him? Hey, we don't know. What about he is that strong? You never know. You never know. So, kudos to him. To Hook. Now, 2 honorable mentions that I want to mention. 2. And one is, I have from Impact, even though he has already been in the independent circuit for quite some time, but never got his shot, never got his moment in a big platform like Impact, and I'm happy that they got him. That is Speedball Mike Bailey. I feel that he could, another person right there that could lead, could be the future for the X division of Impact. I'm not saying that he cannot be a future world champion. He could be. But I feel that he could elevate by beginning with the X Division title and elevating it more than what it is now. We've already seen the likes of Chris Bay, Ace Austin, Eddie Edwards, Dave Richards. We've seen the likes of them in Impact, elevating that. Even Rich Swann. But what about Speedball Mike Bailey? Could he be that next AJ Styles, who was the pioneer of the X Division alongside with Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels, Frank Kazarian, the originals? I feel that he could lead that way towards that direction. And then later on in the future could become a future world champion because he has that, underdog charisma. And that, for me, he looks like an underdog, even though he's not. But he has that underdog look that I feel that, Speedball has the capability and the ability itself to become a future world champion. And my last honorable mention here will be Daniel Garcia. Why? Because this match that he had with Bryan Danielson proved a lot of what he's capable. And not only that, this guy doesn't even have 10 years in his books in professional wrestling. He's wrestled the likes of Bryan Danielson, like a top caliber of Bryan and Minoru Suzuki. And this guy has done it. And all he needs is just that. Either have Bryan lead him the way. That would be so great. I just wish it just happened. Why can't I just put Lee Moriarty and just put Jesus Christ, just put Daniel Garcia, Lee Moriarty, and Bryan Danielson. Fucking trios right there.
Give me what I want.
That's all I fucking asked for. Just give me what I want, damn it. But yes, Garcia has a bright future. Another one who could elevate the TNT title. You never know. In the next 4 to 5 years, he could be a future world champion for sure because of the way how his in-ring skills. I know that he still has a lot to work on the mic, but if he has someone to speak for him, like Bryan Danielson, that could work too, or learn from Bryan Danielson, that could work too. So, those are my top 5 picks and my honorable mentions. All right, director, the floor is yours.
Sweet. Yeah, this is a list I want to come back to in a year and see where our predictions and potentials landed. I tried to keep it diverse as I could. I can obviously pick 20 people that are on this list that deserve it just as much as anybody else, but it's top 5 for a reason. So here we go.
That's right.
Number 5. I don't know where his potential is going to be reached. He was custom built to be a Raw superstar, but he is not. That's because he is right now licking some pretty nice boots under the MJF banner with Wardlow.
Ooh.
Wardlow is absolutely the future of big man wrestling, which still exists. He's very fast. He doesn't say anything, which in itself is its own charisma. I see Vince offering him a deal that I'm going to offer a deal that you can't refuse. I see Vince doing that someday. He just seems like he would just fit in perfectly, replacing the Brocks and the Cenas and the Lesnars. You know, I guess the Brock and the Lesnars are the same people. He's that type, and I can see him doing decently on the main roster someday. I'd like to keep him in AEW for as long as possible, just because I know that he's treated better as far as in ring. You know, like they just don't squash people in AEW like they do on the main roster. But yeah, I absolutely see Wardlow being the future of big man wrestling. Hopefully, he does very well anywhere he goes. I think AEW is the right place now, maybe Raw in the future. Which brings me to number 4, almost the same sentence. I think a main roster push. Hopefully, I see Vince doing him very well. I see him jumping the line and getting, like you said, shoved down our throats a lot like Roman Reigns, almost like Cena. But that is second-generation superstar Braun Breaker. Another big man who is fast, very technical, was raised in wrestling. Basically, he's dog-faced gremlin number 2, which I love. I love the Steiners. And I see him getting treated very well in the main roster. I don't see him getting the Keith Lee treatment. I don't see him getting the Dominik Dijakovic treatment. I don't see him coming out and losing to Kevin Owens, like on his first night, like, you know, I think carrying Cross or some shit like that is what happened. You know, I see him getting pushed to the moon.
To the moon!
Almost to a point of absurdity where we are sick of him and we're like, okay, they're just doing this because he's Rick Steiner's kid, but he has the skills and the talent to be wherever he wants to be.
Stanford stooge.
That's what it is.
Yeah. My number 3, you dismissed him because he is the now already, and he may spend more time on the mic than he does in the ring. But I think that is his own characteristic, and I can't wait to see what promos he comes up with in the future because he is constantly raising the bar and then hitting someone over the head with it, and that's MJF.
Yes.
I think he would do well in WWE on like a SmackDown brand, but Vince they can't censor him. And that's a big problem. It's like you can't have what MJF does now in this G-rated WWE, unfortunately. If this was Attitude Era, which MJF wasn't even born for, I think he was like 3. He's allowed to flourish into AEW right now, and I can't wait to see what he does to top himself, because every time he comes out, it's worse and worse than last week's promo, and I live for it. But I think the future is right here in the Diamond Ring.
This is such good shit.
There you go.
Number 2 has been around the block. They haven't landed anywhere permanent, but in her 8 years of pro wrestling, she's acquired almost every major title that an indie star can get. I mean, ECWA, Game Changer, Impact, AAA, Monster Factory, New York Wrestling Connection, Paradise Alley, Pro Wrestling Illustrated number 3, 150 wrestlers in the world. She got Wrestler of the Year for Ring of Honor in 2017. And that's Deonna Purrazzo.
Ooh!
There's no way this isn't I think last 2 years have held like 9 consecutive titles. She's the female Kenny Omega. I just don't know why she hasn't blown up the way she deserves. I know that she moves around a lot, and I love that about her. But I think once she finds a bigger home with more eyes on it, she's going to be the future. Impact is huge. She's been through there. She's won the knockout title. I think she should go back there right now while the iron is hot on viewership for them, now that it's got this big resurgence and the forbidden door is blasted wide open between them and AEW. Come in and feud, do another cross-promotional feud like what Thunder Rosa's doing. I would love to see that. My number one.
I love it. I love it.
If he's not on your top 5 list, Ivan, I'm sorry, you're just wrong. This kid is the future of the sport. He is everything I love about his style of pro wrestling. He is bilingual, both on the mic and in the ring. He speaks Spanish.
I haven't heard him speak Spanish.
Well, he does speak Spanish. Just doesn't do it in promos, but I think that's going to cater to the Spanish God character. Will cater internationally. I actually think he might be even. Is he he's not from Spain? Is he? Or is he?
No, he's
Puerto Rican.
I forgot
He's from Spain?
I forgot his nationality, but I know he's mixed with Spanish somehow.
Yeah, he's definitely mixed. He was born in Texas and Cuban and American. Okay,
there you go.
I knew there was Caribbean for sure. His in-ring style is amazeballs. He is hitting cutters that I never thought were possible. I love someone who can innovate a move that was already known for being innovative. With the diamond cutter coming out of nowhere, the RKO out of nowhere. Now these diamond cutters he's hitting like they've never been hit before. I love it. His 720 splash is so fast. He's strong. He's charismatic. He's putting on muscle. He's still young. He's only like 26? 28.
Muscle, yeah.
28.
Yeah, wow.
He's absolutely the future in any company he gets to be in, as long as it's not main roster. Much like Wardlow and Braun would have a great chance on main roster, Sammy would get squashed like Ricochet. I don't trust him anywhere but AEW for the next 5 years. I don't see a heavyweight title anytime soon, but definitely the belts that he had, the 2 TPS titles he has, or TNT titles, the undisputed and the interim. I love that. Keep them both. He won them both. Those are his. He is going to be running shit in 5 years if AEW is still around. Praise wrestling god, Sammy Guevara, the Spanish god.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I don't really have any honorable mentions because, the whole world right now is seeing the best wrestlers it's ever seen all at once. I could put anybody on there. Jungle Boy obviously would have been higher up on the list if they didn't, I think, in my opinion, relegate him back to mid-card tag titles. He was kind of doing a singles run for a little bit, which I thought he was going to get that. I thought he was going to be the Dynamite champion. Obviously, Darby Allin could be out there. Gio Galvano could be on there. Hammerstone, anybody. There's so many young up-and-comers. I just can't wait to see who is going to be on that Mount Rushmore. We're going to check this list in a year and see who we're right about.
I agree. It's going to be one of the most intriguing, Mount Rushmores that we're going to be, looking forward to see in the next year or so, because this is just pretty the first quarter of 2022 that we're in. We don't even know how it's going to be the second quarter and the final quarter with these future stars. Like you mentioned, Joe Galvano's another one. I can mention August Artois. I can mention him as well.
The 6-month veteran.
Yes.
The beautiful gimmick is.
Yes, the beautiful
not
gimmick.
Even gimmick. That's a fact. That's a shoot right there, brother.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. And you mentioned Diana Purrazzo. I could mention as well. Viva Van. She's another one who's a top star that could get to that level. Serena Deeb's already there, but because she's a veteran. But who else could I in AEW? Who could I see? Maybe Jade Cargill's one already.
For sure, is the next Goldberg. For sure, she's definitely she's putting in the work. We talk about that ad nauseum. That she does get better as long as the matches stay under 2 minutes, and that's not her fault because we know she's putting in the work. And she doesn't want to just be a fitness model turned wrestler. She wants to be an athlete in the ring, and I love that about her.
Yes, but not only that, but I give her now that she is training with Bryan Danielson. You notice her matches have been more than 2 minutes. Her last 2 matches were not bad. With her against Bunny, and then against her was an AQA.
Legit was the Bunny. I mean, it takes two to tango, and the Bunny really helped make Jay Cargill look good. So shout out to the Bunny on that one. Canadian wrestling at its finest.
Yes, definitely. I agree 100%. And also in Canada, they have a lot of featured stars there too. There's so many that, I know that all of us, even ourselves here, has the opportunity and time to watch it. But if you like someone, ladies and gentlemen, if you feel like you want to look at this individual, think less blessed technology nowadays, and you're able to go back on YouTube and highlight that individual only. And that's how I feel like what AEW with Elevation in the Dark does. That you have the opportunity to look at individuals that you'd like to see, not like the cock, and you have to go back and then, none of that. No, you can watch it there, or you can watch any like MLW, Ring of Honor, Impact, New Japan, Stardom, Tokyo Joshi Pro. So many, it's just so much pro wrestling out there that there's a lot of future stars that, we have now the ability that we're able to now search for and support, and not just wait on national television for this individual to come out. So let's bless technology that we have right now. And so let us know. Comment right below and let us know what is your top 5 future stars in professional wrestling, because we would love to know. And like I said, we're going to be looking at this with a year from now, and then we're going to have to wait and see who is already that, next level consciousness, like with MJF is at. So we, hopefully we see that. Hopefully we get to see that, because the director and I, we asked for this because Vince, Tony Khan, everyone, they need to.
What I want.
That's what they need to give us what we want, exactly. Batista said it right there, ladies and gentlemen. But yes, thank you so much here for this Saturday afternoon here in Los Angeles, how Steve Austin will say it. Los Angeles here, it's 1:42.
He lives there now too, or he did. I think he's in Redondo Beach still.
I don't know if he moved back to Texas, or no, he moved to Vegas.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He moved to Vegas. There you go. He moved to Vegas. He bought a ranch out here in Vegas. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys for tuning in this quick, lovely top 5 on a Saturday afternoon. We appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and also to the League of Extraordinary Podcast channel as well, all of their platforms as well. Shout out to everyone from the League of Extraordinary Podcast. And don't forget to subscribe to also Fate Destroyed on their IG and their social media platforms, and catch them live. Any live shows coming up, Director, for the phenomenal Fate Destroyed?
We have a tour coming up in mid-April. We're adding some shows to the beginning to get us started. So the jump from LA to Michigan, which is where the tour officially starts, isn't that big of a trip. So we're actually going to be starting in Denver on like April 12th or 13th. I think we're waiting for that to be confirmed. But that is the next plan of action right there. Is a tour with Living Dead Girl mid-April.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah, we're starting in Michigan, going straight south through the Midwest, ending up in Florida, and then back up on the East Coast, I believe. So tour dates are available on fatedestroyed.com or our Facebook, our Instagram. Everything has all the information you need.
Absolutely. And if you want to get all that information, click on our link tree below on the description. Fate Destroyed is right there on their social media platform, where you can go to their website and follow them around the world, all over the United States, especially. Catch the director making some music right there, rocking out with his cock out right there in front of all of you guys.
Oh, I wear pants, I promise.
He does wear pants. He does. Sometimes boxers he just wears, but just by itself only. So beware, because the director, that's right. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in here. We'll be back next week with MMA episode coming up, because we do have one of the most intense fights coming up the next Saturday on March 5th, which we're, the director and I looking forward to see, because we're going to have, of course, the man himself, Mr. Jorge Masvidal versus Colby Covington. That is a hell of a fight, and what a hell of a stat card for that UFC 272. So make sure you watch us on Tuesday. We'll be going live on Tuesday with, of course, Coach Rage and the Mods of Pain, as we will be giving our predictions. The predictions for UFC 272 coming up this Saturday on March 5th. And also, we'll be doing a little quick live, and hopefully in person. We'll be doing that on Sunday afternoon, as we'll be doing our brief predictions for AEW Revolution, as we'll be together, the Four Horsemen, watching it live. And we can't do a watch along because we're so busy and we don't want to get hit with, YouTube in case they catch it. We want to listen to it and watch it. We can't have it on mute. Like, oh my God, yeah, but I can hear it. We can't do that. I know if you guys can do it, but we cannot. And also don't forget to stay tuned as well. This upcoming Thursday as well, episode 92. We'll be giving more pro wrestling news, anything going around the world in professional wrestling. So for that, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, all of you freaking
Stanford stooge.
You want
and of course,
Such good shit.
and it is good shit. So once again, this is the director right here, the only one and only, Chris Kennedy, the host of Devious One Ivan C, saying to you guys, good night, goodbye, and bang, and see you on maybe on the next one, maybe, or I don't know. Yeah, maybe the next one. Oh, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we'll be around.
We'll be around. Have a good weekend, guys.